Before we even walk this property, I want you to think about something and keep this in mind as we walk this whole property. Could you build this today for $475,000? We're talking about 11 acres, 6 cabins, a social hall, a nearly 2,000 square foot home, a sauna, a pole barn, and utilities already in place. My guess? Not even close. And that's what makes Cherry Ridge Cabins so interesting. We're in Howard, Pennsylvania, just 25 minutes from Penn State, and this isn't just a property, it's a platform. Maybe it's a family compound, maybe it's a retreat center, maybe it's a hospitality business like on Airbnb, maybe it's something nobody has thought of yet. Let's take a look and see where the opportunity really is. I'm standing here at the driveway for 849 Fairview Road. I just want to point out, we're out in the country. It is super quiet out here, beautiful views, and you'll see when we get over to the cabins that you actually have some pretty good views from the top of the property there, and you could actually clear out some of the trees and open up the view at the cabins. But we're gonna start here with the house. So as I'm walking up, I'll explain to you what we're about to go look at. So this is the driveway up to the single family home. Could be a rental, could be where you live, and then you make some money by managing the cabins that we're gonna go look at as short-term rentals. You could rent them on Airbnb or VRBO or any number of places you could market them. They'd be great for things like big groups, corporate retreats. You could probably even figure out how to make it into a wedding venue of some kind. Have to check the zoning on that, so don't quote me on that yet, but in any event, this is the single family home. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, just under 1,900 square foot home. It's got a garage. It's got this little carport over here, which I'm showing off with my vehicle right now. And as always, we'll start outside and go inside. I say that sometimes, I say always, and other times I say I never start outside. Just depends on how I feel. So important now, we got a shed over here. The well is off in that direction somewhere. I have not located it. There's a map, and I just got to figure out where exactly it's at. But it's about 330 feet deep, 20 gallons a minute. And over here, you have your drain field. This is on well and septic. So, like I said, over there is your well on the other side. Over here is your drain field. This is your drain field. You can see you got some release valves there, release pipes. There's 2 more out there. And then you got a tank underneath of that cinder block. But let's just look at the outside of the home. We'll come up and over the wall. So obviously that's your 1-car garage. It's fairly deep. We'll go in and take a look. You got a nice little patio there. Needs to be power washed and retreated. Probably some boards replaced, but it's a nice little peaceful place to sit. And one thing I'll point out here while we're looking, beyond those trees is where the cabins are. And I'll point this out at a couple other points while we're at the house. You can't see the cabins from the house. So if you were gonna live here and wanted some privacy, you would have it. So we're just gonna walk out and around. Got a deck here. And this is off of the kitchen. That's the kitchen inside that door. But this is your backyard. Take note to all the sound that you hear. I don't know if you can hear it, but all I hear is birds. There was a guy mowing a minute ago. And there's some cows down the road. So you got a corrugated metal roof. Could use a cleaning. Looks like maybe a tree fell on that corner. Had to patch it. But everything's in good shape. This was built in 2004. Could use a power washing too. But altogether, the house is well constructed. It's in good shape. You can see, maybe you can't. He's done some drain work to try to get water because it's coming off of the hill here. And he's swaled it. I don't know if you can see that, but it swales out and around that way. So trying to get that water to push away from the house. And I'm just gonna go up here. So out in this area is where the well is. Maybe we'll stumble across it. It's bothering me that I can't find it. In any event, this was a windmill that he had going at one point. It is no longer in line, but if you look real close, you can start to see the cabins over there. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see there's some buildings there, some buildings out there. You see some roofs, but you are very secluded over here at the house, and that's pretty nice. Nice and quiet out here. This is an 11-acre lot, just over 11 acres. So you got some room to move, room to breathe. Even if you wanted to buy this as a single family home and then subdivide off the cabins and sell that separately, there's that option. It's a big lot. You would lose the clean and green if you did that, but all right, my friend, quick timeout. If you enjoy looking at unique properties like this one, not just houses, but land, rural estates, investment opportunities, hunting properties, and some of the most interesting real estate across Centre County, make sure that you like and subscribe. I tour everything from country homes and farms to acreage to cabins and properties with serious upside potential. My goal is simple: help you see the opportunities you might otherwise miss. All right, now let's get back to the tour. So let's go inside. We're going to start downstairs. So this is kind of your everyday entrance right here. And then you've got this set of steps that goes up onto the tiered deck and in through the proper front door. But we're going to come in through the side door. Please wipe your feet. Okay, so when you come in, you've got this little rec room here, if you will. You can use it for a number of things. So this is actually an oil stove. So there's an oil line. You can see it there that runs out the back. And that is an oil stove, so that would be radiant through the house. You've got things set up over here for cable, so maybe that's your TV wall, but this could be like a nice little separate living area. This is a downstairs bedroom. It's pretty small. This is probably going to be a kid's room. You know, you could fit like a twin bed here in that little cubby, and then they would have their very own bathroom. So this is a full bath here. Let's see if we can get that. Got a shower. So it's small but functional. I'll point out here, he took a lot of care in some of the finishing. So these are cherry steps. It's a cherry banister. The spindles are not cherry, but very nicely done. These are your mechanicals rooms. So this is just a room where the well is and water treatment system. Got a little slop Sink over here, and this is where your washer dryer would go. There's your hookups. That's for your dryer. That's for your water for your washer. Well, and hiding underneath of all that is your water heater. And it does have a whole house vacuum. Not that anybody uses this anymore, but it's here. So for the sake of time, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to try to not get hung up anywhere too much. There's a lot to show you at this property. Point out here, you've got cherry floors. This is a dining room. It even has cherry trim around the windows and the floors. In fact, that may not be cherry, that may just be stained as cherry. It might be pine or something like that, but it's all nicely done. These here are actually Anderson windows. You have some Anderson windows throughout. You have some that are vinyl. That's a vinyl window over there. This is your kitchen. So you got a tile floor in the kitchen, cherry floor in the dining room, and this is that back door that goes out to the deck that I showed you earlier. So this is your back deck. Nice back deck. Nice backyard. So that's your kitchen. We got hickory cabinets here. And get your sink in the island. And one thing to point out here with the ducted blower for the oven hood here. So it's within the microwave, but that is actually ducted outside. So it's not always the case. And then you've got room for 4 here at the eat-in kitchen bar. So pretty cool. And then this is your family room. You got a vaulted ceiling here and a nice big window there. Beautiful views. Just looking out the front driveway. So nice big kind of common area. We'll just take a step out here. This is the deck that I was looking up earlier. So this is looking down. Got these benches built in. Again, needs to be power washed and refinished. Some of these boards might need to be replaced, but some of them could last for a little bit longer. However you want to do it. And you've got 2 bedrooms back here. That's probably more the primary there. And this would be your secondary. So again, take note, you've got some Anderson windows there, a vinyl window there, but everything's in good shape. Closet has a light in it. Something else to point out, you've got ceiling fans. Another ceiling fan there. You got one in the dining room. Maybe you don't like the ceiling fans, but at least you know that they're set up for them. So you could put some in some rooms and not in others. But this would probably be your primary room. There is no primary suite. I apologize for the unstableness of my gimbal today. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we'll try to balance as much as we can. This is a nice big closet. That's why I'm saying this might be the primary. And something else to point out, the upstairs has electric baseboard heating. Downstairs you have that oil furnace or that oil fireplace, whatever you want to call it, heater. And then this is your upstairs full bath. Again, that's electric baseboard there. Hello. And we got a Nice linen closet on each side actually. And that actually is a laundry chute. So that goes down to that laundry room that we were in earlier. And here is another linen closet. And while I'm looking at it, take note, these are all solid wood doors. They're pine doors, but they're solid wood. And he stained them cherry to match the cherry floors and the rest of the trim, which is also it's just stained to look cherry. But that is actually a cherry floor right there. So pretty cool. And again, you got the hickory cabinets, and that's the house. So yeah, we're gonna make our way over to the cabins now. So before we head over to the cabins, I lied. I just want to show you, this is your main power. So it is a 200 amp service here at the house. And we'll go back, and that little cupboard there's, that one there's where the laundry comes down. You can actually see it right up above. In any event. And then coming out here, this is your garage. I wanted to show you the garage. So, nice long garage. And you also have another sub panel over here. There's your whole house vacuum unit. This was set up as a battery bank for the wind turbine. It's no longer in line. This was the shut off for it. And that is your oil tank for the fireplace stove thing in the rec room there. So that's your garage. To show you where in relation the cabins are to the house, I'm gonna drive us over there with the video on. This is one of my tricks. Hopefully we don't have any accidents. So we're coming down the road and they're literally right here. So you'll see there's a sign. It says Cherry Ridge Cabins. There you have it. Cherry Ridge Cabins, and we'll just take a cruise up. What I'm going to do to start is just ride you all the way up through, and then we'll go and take a look at all of the cabins one by one. If you're coming into the cabins, you can see it's a nice paved road all the way in. There's my videographer. Try not to run him over. But there you got the social hall, bunch of cabins, and say hi, Matt. Coming up through, and we'll just go all the way up to the top. Nice road, comes all the way up, and got a caboose, got a pole barn. So we're back down here at the bottom. You got the township road basically running right down through here. This is the entrance to the cabin area, and then we're actually right here. This is cabin number 1. It's currently a full-time rental. So we're not going to go in that today, but it's got this little shed here. And I noticed that the road is paved. It's not very old, a couple years old. So it's in good shape still. We're just going to kind of show how this all splits up. So we got going up into the rest of the cabins that way. This one goes to cabin number 5. So just a quick layout. The cabins are numbered in the order in which they were built. So this log cabin was the first of the cabins to be built. You can see again, there's that little shed. And you can see it's a true log cabin. Let's get a good Look at it here. It's got a deck that goes out and around just that side. Got a little shed up here, a little shelter. This was built to be a root cellar. So you got a little root cellar built in there. And yeah, so let's just go take a look here. Try to do these in somewhat of an order. Hopefully that wind isn't too loud. But we're standing at, looking up at number 5. And what we're going to do, we're going to go in order. So this is cabin number 2 down here. So I'm just going to start there. We already looked at one. One was the log cabin. Cabin number 2. The second one built. So you're going to notice there's some things. See, cabin number 2. There's some things that need to be updated. Some of the wood is older. A lot of these boards are actually in decent shape. They need power washed and refinished. Some of them need just straight up replaced. In fact, you may as well just do all of them, would be my opinion. This part of the porch is actually in better shape than the walkway in. But you know, all together though, everything structurally is sound and in good shape. Just needs some updating and some TLC. So again, remember, keep in mind the theme of updating and, you know, making this something different. So coming into cabin number 2, it's a 1 bedroom down here on the first floor, kind of like a studio. Got a little kitchen. Got your sink, a little stove. And this one's kind of cool because if you got kids, you could have them. You could rent it and have this be like a kid's room. So you got the upstairs, it's finished. Now, I'm 6 foot tall and I can only stand kind of in the very middle. So as far as finished square footage, I wouldn't technically call that finished. Count it as finished at least, because you can't stand. But kids could use it. But you got a full bath here, toilet, sink, shower. So all of these cabins have that theme. Some of them have 2 bedrooms, some of them have 3, some of them are just studios. This is basically calling it a 1 bedroom with some loft space for kids. So that's cabin number 2. Going up to cabin number 3. And we'll take note of the social hall over here. And that's actually cabin number 8 down there. We'll go see all those in time. We'll stay on track here. This is cabin number 3. And then it's cabin 4 up above, and this is cabin number 5 right there. Whoop. All right. So again, nice little porch. I'd say this porch is in pretty good shape. Again, the walkway, because it takes a bit more of a beating from the weather, those boards probably need some more TLC than here where it's covered. These are all covered porches. This is again another 1 bed kind of studio. So this one's easy to show because you walk right in, you got your bed here. Take note, you got vaulted ceilings here, which is pretty cool. Got a little kitchenette, and you got a little extra stove here for heat. So, and then of course, you've got a bathroom, full bath. They're not huge bathrooms, but they're also not tiny. This is kind of an old school shower stall, but very functional. Here's your, should have showed you the power in the other one. Just a little 100 amp, might be 50 amp actually. I can't Nope, that's 100 amp service. And I'll try to just keep moving so that we get through everything, and this isn't an hour-long video, but you can feel free to slow it down, pause it wherever you want so you can take a better look at things. One thing I'll point out here, this is some extra parking. In general, I've had some people ask me about RVs. So this is a section here. I mean, you could improve this, grade this out a little bit. You could get an RV in there, even set it up with RV hookups. This has been used as a little playground area in the past. The boundary is right on the other side of that, and it just basically just a straight line down past the social hall and what was an old sawmill. And that's just a little shed where they keep things like garden equipment and things that you need to maintain the property. But we're going up to cabin number 4 now. So cabin number 4 and cabin number 5 both have these extra pavilion areas. And going back to the idea of RV parking, I mean, you could set that up to be an RV site because it's not leveled off, but it's kind of set up to be potentially leveled off. Might have to take some trees out. And then you got that little caboose up there that's got some beds in it. We'll go in that. And then this building over here is actually a sauna. We'll go in that in a minute. But this is cabin number 4, just to show you. The woodwork here, much better shape. I don't think any of these boards need replaced. They just need power washed and refinished. And again, it's a covered porch. Pretty cool. So you walk in this one, and this is one of the bigger cabins. 4 and 5 are 2 of the larger ones, so you've got a lot more common space here. You've got the bathroom right there, got a nice big kitchen, and then it goes upstairs for more rooms, and then you've got this bedroom downstairs as well. So we'll go take a look upstairs, coming through the kitchen. These are nice oak cabinets. So this one probably doesn't need a whole lot of updating as it is. And take note, these are cherry stairs. This is a cherry banister. Yeah, just a nice touch. Some of the cabins are like this where they don't really need a lot. You could rent them as is and make some money, and then over the winter be fixing some things. Okay, so we got a bedroom, we got a half a bath, and we've got a bedroom. So let's take a look inside. And all of the floor plans are up online. They're in the pictures, and they have the rough dimensions. So if you want to know more about sizes, just check that out. So just a little half bath here. Yeah. Got a skylight for some extra light, and it's in great shape. No leaks. And another thing I have up now, I had my clients put together a full seller's disclosure on each property, each one of these cabins. So they should have put in them when they were built. I have not had a chance to look yet. If they didn't, I can get those dates. We'll take a look at that sauna a little bit later. May as well take a look at the outside. So the outsides are all board and batten. Needs some paint, but in general, the boards are in good shape. They all have tin roofs. The roofs are in good shape, nothing's leaking. They probably could use a coat of paint to protect them. And I would say probably all the roofs are in that condition. So this is, you know, we priced it to account for all of the updates that someone's probably going to want to do. And I think this is the type of property that you could come into and make some cash the rest of this year, and then over the course of the winter start doing some of the updates. Obviously you can't do the porches while over the winter, so you might want to start with that, but some of the interior things you could do over the winter. And again, some of these are turnkey. Like I would say this is number 4 and number 5 are probably turnkey. You know, maybe you want to replace the floor down the line, but in general, they're in pretty good shape as they are. All right, so this one, nice big common area, similar layout to the other one that we just looked at. Difference is this does not have a half bath. So we got a bedroom downstairs, got a full bath here, got just a little closet. That's a heater. And my clients do not rent these over the winter, so there's not a lot in terms of heat sources. This is your bathroom. Stand-up shower. These are pine cabinets, but they're in good shape. Kind of a neat little feature here. You've got a vaulted ceiling here, so you don't have the 2 bedrooms upstairs like you did in number 4, but, and these are not cherry steps, these are all pine. But you do have this little kind of loft area that they have a bed in. You could make that into a sitting area. Something you might want to update is the carpet at some point. But you got an extra bedroom up here. So this one has 2 bedrooms and 1 full bath. Yep, so this is cabin number 5. Got all these benches built into the porches. And again, this cabin number 5 also has a little pavilion. Comes with a little swing here. Let's get this little pavilion that comes with it. Again, I mean, if you wanted to, you could turn this into an RV site. Just take the pavilion down and extend this out, the pad, and then RVs could park there. It's already got power run to it, so you just have to run water. All right, so now we're gonna go down to the social hall. Social hall is building number 6. So something the social hall could be used for is family reunions. Maybe you could do even some kind of retreats, corporate retreat, business retreats. They say it has a 50-person capacity. It's got this nice porch out front. Boards are in good shape. They just need power washed and refinished again. Again, it's got this nice awning over it. And coming inside. So this is a nice big open space. It's got vaulted ceilings. Outside that door is a small deck. My thought is that would be nice to make that bigger. Made a nice big deck out there. This is a little kitchen area, so if you were having a big gathering, they could pass food through there. And then you've got restrooms here. So you've got one restroom there and one restroom here. And then this is just a utility closet. And then we've got a kitchen, full kitchen. So as far as I know, everything in here works. Fridge is a bit beat up. Looks like somebody got mad at it. But yeah, you might want to update some things like that. Take a look at this porch, and then we'll just shoot down, show you the little basement area. So like I said, it's just a small deck out here. And while we're here, I'll just show you that. That was an old sawmill. So, you know, I don't know, maybe you just improve it by cleaning it up and walling some things off. Maybe you tear it down. Who knows? But the property boundary is right down there around the edge of the tree line. You can see the other house through the trees if you look closely. Then there's cabin number 8. But we're gonna go down here. This is the basement. And then we'll make our way back up through the property, look at the sauna, and look at the big brown building, the pole barn. So, got a shower here for some reason. Got a slop sink over there, and a big utility area. Let's go take a look at this power box. Looks like that is a 200 amp service there. Yep, so that's the basement. And then this is just the crawl space. So I think there's a light here. Just a dirty old crawl space. Come back, I don't want to waste your time there. All right, now we're gonna go run back up the hill. I want to show you the sauna. I want to show you the pole barn. Oh, before we do that though, I want to show you cabin number 8. Down around the corner here. Something that you could do to improve this would be to get some kind of access to this that's a little bit better, so someone could pull right up. I think somebody could pull down and around the social hall and park right here. So cabin number 8, and being 8, it was the most recently built, so that means that the house is number 7, and that was the second most recently built. So the house was built 2004, so that means this was built after that. All right, so we got a full bath here, stand-up shower. Small kitchenette. And these are hickory cabinets. Again, this one is turnkey, ready to go. So you got 4, 5, and 8 that are turnkey, pretty much ready to go. You really wouldn't have to do anything to them other than maybe the decks. Just got a little closet here. And I believe the water heaters for these are underneath. So we will not take a look at that here today necessarily, but if you want to know more about that, we can definitely look at that down the line. Again, these are board and batten. Probably due for some paint. This one is just plywood, painted. A little hose bib there. Let's take a look out and around. And we're not going to go in the old sawmill. But something to point out here. I mean, the property boundary is basically right over there, right inside that tree line, and it just runs straight down to the township road. So there's all this, and that junk pile should probably go away. There's all this area here that could be used for something more. If you got rid of the sawmill, now you couldn't do anything here because this is the drain field for the septic system. So all these cabins are running off of the same septic system. The house has its own septic system, and then all the cabins run to this one. So how much more you could do in terms of building cabins, you know, you may need to improve the septic system. To do that, you'd have to check with township, obviously. But there's the tank lid, and there's your drain field. And then there's your power. All the power is run underground. You can see all the conduits going under. And we're gonna go up and make our way to the top of the hill. I'm gonna show you the sauna. Kind of a cool sauna. It's a wood-fired sauna. Block building. Again, you got this cool pavilion here. Little hose bib. So you got water and power already run to that. So that could be a nice RV site. The RV sites don't necessarily have to have sewer. So people can just have their RVs pumped somewhere else. So this is a sauna. Got a little room here. This is the well house as well. And here's your sauna. So like I said, it's wood fired. Kind of cool. Got your rocks up top. You run your water into there. You just keep dipping it in. Kind of a neat little thing. I know it's a little random. Looks like this is to kick some heat out when you really get this puppy going. That's the, I won't say it, but that's the uh-oh window. All right. I want to take a look at this caboose. Wow, getting on to 24 minutes. This is going to be a long video. So if you're still with me, thank you for watching. I'm going to take a look at the caboose now. It's a kind of cool thing, maybe for the kids. I don't know that the adults are going to want to stay in here, but you know, you can change this up, make it a little different. Just a little space. Got this extra high spot there for some light. And it does have power, so just kind of a cool little thing. And again, property boundary. It's basically right inside this tree line. Goes up. I have a copy of the survey up online, so if you want to know more, shoot me a text or an email. I can get you all that info. This is your pole barn, and just storage for utilities. It's got the big doors so you can get a bigger tractor in here. You have power run up through. A lot of this is natural light coming through the roof skylights there. But dirt floor, you know, you could improve it, or you could just use it as is. But it's in fine shape. If it were me, I would clear a lot of these trees away from it. And to give you some more context, through the trees over here, you can kind of see the house. I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, that's the roof through the trees. Okay, all right. So that would be the whole property. Very unique, has a lot of potential. Someone wants to come in here and start tapping into the Airbnb and VRBO market. I think you could do well. Are there things that you're going to want to do to improve it? Absolutely. But are there places that could just be used as is, turnkey, with a little bit of cleanup? 100%. So, believe we have it priced at a place now that factors in all of those improvements. And, you know, I'd love to see and hear from some of you. So let me know what you think. So what's the story here? For me, it comes down to one thing: replacement cost. The buildings are here. The infrastructure's here. The location, it's here. The opportunity, it's here. What the next owner does with it is where the value gets created. The current operation has never fully leveraged modern short-term rental platforms or even driven demand tied to Penn State weekends. That's where I think buyers should be paying attention. Whether you're looking for a family compound, a retreat property, or a hospitality business, or simply a unique piece of Center County real estate, this is the kind of asset that rarely comes to market at this price. If you'd like a private tour, or if you'd like to discuss whether this property fits your goals, reach out anytime. I'm Jared Ernico with eXp Realty. I help people buy and sell everything from residential homes to land to farms to rural properties in general, and unique real estate opportunities just like this one throughout Center County and central Pennsylvania in general. I'd love to help you move forward with your next move. I'll see you on the next one.